Well, good morning to you, everybody. Mark Sudduth here with CJ Morgan. There he is, almost, maybe. All right. Hey, welcome to Talking Weather. It's Monday now, the 29th day of 2025 of December. All right, let's start over. We are 99% complete. I saw that on the 2025 Progress Bar Twitter account. 2025 is 99% complete. So
Yeah.
but yes, it's December 29th. It is Monday, I know that, and you have tuned into Talking Weather. And we got a good one for you today. All kinds of stuff to look at over the weekend, weather-wise, and then a look ahead to what's a very busy day out there, especially in the Lakes region. We did have some severe weather yesterday, and there was even a tornado, CJ.
Yep.
Some video of that. And yeah, we'll look at all that, plus the pattern ahead as we get into 2026. So, without further ado, whatever that means, I didn't take French, and I'm assuming that's a French word, but I want to show you this. This
Couldn't
is
tell you.
funny. This is perfect because of how I botched the opening. Today is
That's
Munduson's Day,
yeah.
December the 37th.
Yeah. That's literally what this week,
Right.
this dreaded week between Christmas and New Year's feels like for those that have to work this week. Best of
Yeah.
luck keeping
Right.
everything straight.
Right. It's just an odd, like, what the heck is even going on? You know what's funny? I'm going to step away and turn my fan on because it is hot in here. We have full sun. It's in the
Wow.
70s, and I'm already sweating, and we can't have that.
No, we cannot.
All right. Fan activated. There we go. Yeah, it is just like, whoo, very bright sunshine coming in. So yeah,
That's good.
today is Mundusness Day. So there you go.
Yeah.
Also, you think chaser convergence is bad, CJ? Well, this is K2. Talk
Oh my
about
God.
hiker convergence. This section of the climb is insane. You spend several hours underneath a giant ice cliff, an exposed
Wow.
position at 8,200 meters, one third normal oxygen levels, and knowledge that many people slipped and have fallen from here.
You know, K2 is one of the most dangerous. It's actually more dangerous than Everest. A lot of people don't realize that. It's one of the most, if not the most deadly mountain in terms of mountaineering in the world. And to see that many people up there, it's winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm all for, hey, I may go skydiving. I might do some stuff like that. No.
Yeah, like I'll take the
Wow.
chaser convergences
Yeah.
on the plains
Ooh.
because you don't fall 8,000 meters to your death.
Yeah,
I mean, you can
no.
get in head-on collision. I understand all that, but I saw this show up in the algorithm and I was like, whoa, talk about, and Shima in his video there we showed the other day, the tornadoes of
Mhm.
2025, he calls it the Chaser Horde,
Yeah, it's basically there's the mountaineering horde.
the mountaineering horde. I just, oh man, like,
Which I'm going to be honest with you, the mountaineering horde is a much better term. It
sure.
sounds cooler.
Right, right, exactly. So
But
there
man,
you go. That's
these
some
are some
road
bad
blockage.
people that are up there, man. Some bad mofos.
Oh, that's just crazy.
Oh,
All right. So what's on the docket for today? Major winter storm for the lakes area. A
yeah.
sneaky little New Mexico winter weather deal that I'll
I
show you.
saw that.
Falling iguana watch. Yep, it's on for Florida.
Yep.
Um, if that happens in your area, you got to get some pictures for us. Do you have
You know,
iguanas in Sarasota?
we'll talk more when we get to that
Okay.
because I got some comments there.
All
I'll
right.
tell you a little bit more locally.
Sure. And then are we setting up for a ripe pattern for January for winter weather? That's what
It's
that
gonna be
means. I can only
interesting.
squeeze so many words on here with keeping the
Right.
font nice and big. A ripe pattern. There's some talk already that January may become more favorable or ripe for big time winter storms. Good to see everybody on the YouTube chat this morning. And we will drop by and say hello to you all. We have Javier. Hey, we have Brad and Scott and Catherine and Karen. That's terrific. Hey, don't forget to share with your friends. Let them, oh, we're live now. Tell them to join in. All right, so national high
Absolutely.
and low temperatures. I love this segment. This is probably my favorite, just for lots of different reasons. Part of it is how often will these areas change? We've done La Porta
Right.
and Hidalgo a few times already. And yesterday, the high temperature for the country was down there in the La Puerta Hidalgo area. They shared it at a
Wow.
blistering 91 degrees. And then Old Faithful, and I didn't know this.
Huh.
I didn't know this. I just, as all, I don't know everything. The expression between me and my brother, we know everything. I thought that Old Faithful and Yellowstone was in Montana, and I was wrong. It is actually in northwest Wyoming. I didn't know that.
Right.
You know that?
So I always, when I think of Yellowstone generally, I think of Wyoming. And I don't know
Really?
if
I
that's
think of
just an
Montana
eastern,
for
but
some reason.
well, because I've never been out there. See, when I think of Montana, I think of Glacier National Park.
Okay.
That's what I think of, or like Bozeman or Butte.
I just,
Um,
some weird
but
Mandela
yeah,
effect, I guess,
it's
that I
weird.
thought it was in Montana.
But still, hey, I mean, negative 27. I mean, you and I were out there this
Right.
summer. That
That's what
that
I was gonna
is
say. We were right over
desolate
here.
country, man, out there. And I had heard that Wyoming winters, the reason why Wyoming's not as populated as
Right.
Colorado, it's just so much worse.
Yeah. Well, the Old Faithful and Yellowstone up in the northwest corner. You and
Right.
I were over
Whoa.
here in the northeast corner. We went to Devil's Tower
Yep.
and all that. And I didn't realize we were just 10 hours away.
Yeah,
You look
literally.
at that square. Oh, that's not that
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Oh, it's far. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's take a look at La Puerta. I know we've probably already done this, but and I did it this time where once I type it in, it outlines
Right.
the boundary, so we know exactly where we're talking about. All right, so now we know there's La Puerta, and let's just zoom out a little bit to give you guys an idea of where that is, right along the U.S.-Mexican border in extreme southwest Texas there, not too far down the road a bit from Brownsville and so forth, but well south of Laredo. Texas is giant, so that gives you
Yeah.
an idea of where it is. So let's zoom in, and now I'm going to lose it again. So let's do La Puerta, outline it. There we are. Thank you. And we'll drop our Google Street View guy. Um, let's see. Let's take a look at Barcelona Street. Why not? And there you go. That, my friends, is exactly what I expected
Mhm.
it to look like.
Yep.
Old, I mean, it looks like old Mexico. Look at
Yeah, it
this up
looks like
in the
It's
distance.
South Texas, deep South
Yeah, look at
Texas.
that. There's some of those prickly pear cactus up there, and then you got the
Oh.
palm trees.
Yeah. See, I think we're far enough down the Rio Grande Valley now where it starts to get that hilly mesa kind of
Right.
terrain. I look at that and I think rattlesnakes
Yes,
because
there you
that's
go.
literally that thicket that you go through going out towards
Right,
Abilene. It
right,
looks very similar. But yeah, it does. It looks like as if you were to throw yourself into, which I mean it is. Juarez isn't too far.
right.
Neither is it's across from, I'm not too familiar with northern Mexican geography, but there's the bigger city across from Brownsville. Rio
Yeah,
Grande Valley actually
yeah.
is very densely populated. A lot of people
So
don't realize that.
91 degrees there yesterday,
Wow.
and they shared it with Hidalgo. Why I unshared my screen, I have no idea. That's fine. So the low temperature yesterday of negative 27 was at Old Faithful. That's just an odd, like, what? Okay, like, all right.
You
That's
would
just
think that
weird.
they would say, Yellowstone National Park or just
Right.
Yellowstone.
Well, the
Um,
tweet literally was Old Faithful slash Yellowstone National Park. Like it had it in from
right,
the Weather Prediction Center's tweet that they do. That's where I get this data from.
right.
So that's Old Faithful, and I was shocked. I didn't look. I just wanted to see if it would activate. And I was like, oh, look at all
Yeah.
that I could drop it. So let's just drop the Google Maps guy right there and see what we see. So there's Old Faithful. That's so Wyoming. I mean, it looks sandy, isn't it?
It
That's
yeah,
the
it,
thing.
it looks like Wyoming. Like
Right.
when you think of
Ah, there it
Wyoming,
is.
this is kind of what you think of the Ponderosa Pines and the ridges out in the distance.
So here's my question. What the hell vehicle were they using to get
If
Google?
you look down, so I think
Oh
Google
yeah.
Street View, they can use people, like they have a backpack, and they also have bikes,
Right. Yeah, we
believe
saw
it or
a
not. Yeah.
motorcycle last week.
So they definitely have like different, but this looks like if I had to guess some dude with a backpack. Because I
And
know
who,
that's how they get the beach views. Like if you
right.
drop your Google Street View somewhere here along the coast, you can sometimes get Street View out there on the beach
So
and
whose
just walking up
job
the
is it
beach.
at Google to blur out people's faces? I need to know. We got to
That's
get
that's
that
a
guy
job that should be AI.
at this point.
Because
So,
God, that would be horrible.
but here's the problem that I have. You blurred out their faces, but you didn't blur out Bob's bald spot.
Right.
Poor Bob or
Poor
whoever that
Bob.
is.
Sorry, just got a
At least
delivery.
add some hair because he's going to find that and oh, there I am at Old Faithful.
Right.
So that's snow on the ground, isn't? No, it can't be.
No, that can't
You're in
be. I don't know.
shorts.
Well, I mean, that is a volcanic field there, so it could just be old what you're the ge
Hummus.
well, I almost said yeah. I almost said you're the geographer, but that's
What the?
geology, not geography.
What is that? Is that a stadium or no? Those are A-framed buildings. Okay, I thought this over here was like at Mississippi State where they have their
Yeah,
football
yeah, yeah,
stadium
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
steep, but it's an A-frame building.
Hey, you never know. They'd probably actually fill the bleachers if they put a stadium up just for people to watch Old Faithful.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
bucket list trip for me. Our national park system is beautiful. That is one thing, regardless of what side of the political aisle you find yourself. I mean, our national parks are great. We have the
yes,
most beautiful national parks. Aside from, I hear the Canadians screaming about Banff. We'll get to you later at another time.
right.
But we do. This part of the country is so gorgeous, and I want to explore personally the Intermountain West a lot more.
Well, there it is. That's where the national low was
Gorgeous.
yesterday at minus 27. No, thank you.
Ugh. Yeah,
Yeah.
just not in the winter. I'll go in August.
Anybody on the chat ever been to this area before? I bet Scott has. He's been everywhere. Scott's probably the one that took those Google Street View images. Ha ha ha.
Right. So Scott just said the busiest entrance to Yellowstone is in Montana. You just
Ah,
cross into Wyoming a few miles down the road.
there you go. All right.
Right.
So speaking of maps, I saw this too. Terrible maps. States that end in Aska,
I love that.
Nebraska and Alaska.
I love it.
And then the comments are always good. What about Californiaska? It's not wrong. Sometimes you got to worry about the comments as you scroll live. Do we have data owned if Greenland will end in Aska? Well, we'll find out. Maybe, maybe not.
Hey,
But
in Florida, we
Nebraska,
have a street called Florabraska. So
I've been to Nebraska and I've been to Alaska. So there you
I've
go.
never been to Alaska. That is also, Courtney and I have talked. It's a bucket trip. We want to do one of the cruises up through the fjords.
There
As
you
you
go.
said,
So,
it's
yes,
gorgeous.
yes, absolutely. All right. So over the weekend, we did have a winter storm that cut through. This is some stuff out of Central Park, literally their official
Nice.
account. All righty. And it's crowdfunded. So there you go. So Central Park, beautiful scenes up there. Never been to the Big Apple proper in a snowstorm. I did DC this past winter,
Right.
but not New York City. Robert Ray was up there covering it. I saw that. That's like a home game. Fox Weather's right up
Yeah,
there on
exactly.
Sixth Avenue, and Robert Ray flew to New York to cover it. That's easy. That's an easy one. But there it
Yep.
is. Beautiful scenes up there from that quick hitting winter storm. So what about today? So we had some questions on our Discord, and I like it when people ask the questions about what the different colors are. And before I jump into this, remember a few years back when there was that weird social media thing with the cloth, and people were like, is it purple or is it
Right.
blue or golden blue, whatever
Yeah.
the hell it was. And it was like billions and billions of views. Do you see blue or do you see gold or whatever it was,
Yeah.
right? So the question on our Discord was about these reds that we're seeing. And they said, is red, actually, let me just look at the Discord because it's all right there. She said, um, let's see, I gotta find it. Where was her question about red? So the purple, come on, help me, CJ, if you can see my screen. She was wanting to know what she said, is it
Scroll
orange?
the other way, or yeah, maybe the orange. I think it was the question of what is a winter weather advisory, a winter storm watch, or a blizzard warning. So the
Maybe she
National
took it
Weather
out.
Service, each broadcast, and it's funny because just like the political parties in this country, it all came from broadcast.
Right.
Everything originates in the media. So, and that's why I always laugh. Our colors are backwards from the rest of the world when it comes to politics. Well, when we think of tornado warnings, we always think red because a lot of uh, places do that. A lot of them use red and a
Right.
lot of them use yellow for severe thunderstorms. Well, on the National Weather Service page, there's always at the bottom of the map, there is a key because
Yep.
otherwise, I mean, it's a Bob, it's like Bob Ross
Yeah.
or it's like Michael J. Fox painted modern art. I hate
There
to
you
use
go.
that reference. It's horrible, but it's the truth. I mean, it's just a smattering of colors. What does it mean? The National Weather Service tries to present things in as simple as a way possible. And it's all right there. If you go to the NWS homepage, it's always right there for you.
But
Um,
not until they pop up do there's not like a
exactly.
permanent key.
No,
And so
it
what we were
changes based on what's
right,
going on currently.
right. So what the question was yesterday, I was talking about, I know that I posted let me just go back to the Discord, see if I can find it. So
Right there.
I posted that, I said, wow.
Hmm.
And I guess that whoever posted it must have taken their post off because they were wanting to know what the orange was or something like that. And I thought
Yeah.
it was red. And I was like, well, that's blizzard warning. Now, so
Yep.
that's what I'm getting at. That is red, correct? Well,
It's
now
orange.
that's not orange.
It's orange.
Dude, that's red.
It's orange.
No, there's
So let
I,
us know in the
no,
comments, in
wait
the
a minute.
chat,
I
what
am
do you
looking at
see? Is it
that.
orange or is it red?
I'm looking at that right there,
Yeah,
and
it's
that is
orange.
red.
It's orange.
That
A
is the
hot
same
orange.
color is as that. Come
Mm.
on, I'm not even trying to kid around here. That's red,
So I owned
bro.
a car. So any of you that are big Mopar people, you'll like this reference. That is Go Mango Orange right there. I had a Dodge Dart in Go Mango Orange, and that is that color. It's a
So,
fire
so
orange,
so
man.
you're telling me that this color right here is orange?
It is orange because the dots are red.
I just, well, that's a different color red.
No. So
That
tell us,
is that is
what do
orange.
you see? Is it orange or is it red? To me, it's
I,
orange. To Mark, it's red. We can start a whole new,
well, see,
is
that's
this
what I was
orange or
saying on the
red?
Discord. I know that they do tornado warnings in red,
Hmm.
correct?
Correct.
So I was
That is,
thinking, well, why would
red.
blizzard warnings and tornado warnings have the same? So we need a Pantone expert because
Yeah.
Pantone has the colors. Dude, I mean, I know that there's different shades of stuff, right?
Right.
And it is a shame that we don't have Bob Ross around anymore because he could call
Right.
that like such a fiery red, or you have burnt umber and
Yeah.
dark sienna, whatever. Dude, I look at that and I
And
think
Karen
red.
has a good point. I just saw Karen's comment pop up. It depends on your chromatic scheme in your device. That is 100% true, Mark. Depending on what kind of monitor you're using, whether it's IPS or whether it's HDR, yeah,
It's red on my
whatever.
iPhone too, people.
So for me, you know, it's popping up as a very like it's definitively orange from my point of view. Um, but
That
it's
is orange.
amazing how which is orange is a weird color. We could get into the color science behind how LG or LEDs create color.
Right.
Orange is a weird color. And same thing with brown, how our screens are able to produce brown.
All right.
There's actually a really good video from Technology Connections on that. It is a weird color. And, but for lack of a better term, that color on screen
I'm gonna
is
ask
a
Chat
blizzard warning.
GPT. All right, I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna ask Chat GPT what that color is. And hundreds of billions of dollars put into AI photos.
We do. I'm going to actually do this. Hold on 1 second.
So I asked ChatGPT, what colors do you see? And I took a picture of the Upper Peninsula. In the image, I see several colors used for the weather alerts map, including red, winter storm warning
That's
areas,
orange. Here,
bright
we're gonna settle this
fuchsia.
the best way I know how.
Orange is up in the that little corner. Purple, yellow, light blue, gray, and white. Dude, Sam Altman can't be wrong.
We're gonna do a Twitter poll.
Yes. And I wasn't even planning on this going like this. I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to address what the colors meant. Chat GPT, bro, says, I see red. I see red. What's that song? It's a wonderful world. Is that the song? Anyway, no singing. Sorry. Anyway, I see red and I see pink.
Oh, you can't do. Dang it. Okay, Elon Musk. You need to allow us to post pictures and polls.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
ridiculous. Here's a
you
picture and there
can't.
should be a poll with it.
Yeah, I can't do it on Twitter. I can only do one or the other. That is so stupid.
Well,
Ugh, that's funny though. But
it,
yeah, so just looking at our chat here though, it seems that everybody sees red, orangey red, but it's funny that I mean, it's all about how the human brain
I
works,
like what
and our
Laura said.
brains are
Check the hex
strange.
key number,
That's a
like
good
in
point.
Photoshop. Everybody says orange. Wow. I mean, like, just one more thing about it. Again, so that's red. Everybody would agree with that. Yes? Down here. The stop share, that's red.
Yeah,
Right?
I would say it. Oh, we can't see that. So just an
Oh,
FYI.
sorry.
The rest of the world can't see that.
Never mind.
Um,
Let's just get on with it. For bleep's sake. All right. I was confused though. Here's what's weird. I will say that one more thing about it. With this blizzard warning
right,
proposed right next to the purple, it does look more orange to me.
right.
I'm just saying. Isn't that interesting?
It is. It's very weird, but hey, that's our brains for you. That is our brains.
But next to this blue and this pink, that looks more red.
Ugh.
Wow.
I
All
think
right.
some
So
folks,
we do have a plethora of winter
yeah.
weather advisories, wind, fog, you name it, special marine warnings down here
Mm,
off the coast of Louisiana, red flag warnings in the North Carolina central part there.
yep.
And so, whoops, let's go. There we go. But blizzard warnings in the Upper Peninsula, winter storm warnings for the lower portions of Michigan. You have winter storm warnings for the lakes areas, ice storm warnings, winter storm warnings. All this is wind, that brown color.
Yeah.
Because as we look at the satellite, we do have a nice mid-latitude storm cranking away up here with a powerful low pressure area, the attending front, and that is why the weather is so dynamic. Now, why can't we get that to
Yeah,
be
I was just,
right
that's
there?
immediately where my eyes went. I was just about to say, check that cyclone out there off
I
of
mean, come on,
Newfoundland.
let's just bring that bad boy about right there.
Wow.
And we in business. We talking huge waves at Scituate and
Yep.
Marshfield and so forth. And the weather weenies will just lose their minds.
Yep.
By the way, random, we'll call it Movie Monday. I know that you don't go to the movies nearly as much as I do, and you may not
Right.
even have a clue to this, but what movie do you think is the top grossing American made movie for 2025?
I don't even have a guess.
I was shocked. There was a episode of The Daily where they went over all of it from the New York Times, and it's the Minecraft movie with Jack Black. That's the number
That
one
doesn't
movie
surprise me.
money wise. Money wise. Weapons is in there,
Doesn't surprise
Sinners.
me.
Avatar will eventually probably surpass everything because James
Yeah.
Cameron just can't miss. And speaking of James Cameron and Avatar, I'll only spend a couple minutes on this because we are talking weather. But the weather on Pandora is always wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. I saw a newspaper article. This was just on my Facebook somewhere. Again, algorithm stuff. That somebody wrote an article in 1999 2 years after his hit movie Titanic, of course. What was
Right.
his next big idea? And he was talking about, I've got this idea about a paralyzed military guy who goes to a base off the planet of Pandora, and using computer technology, he gets turned into an avatar that's 9 feet tall, blah, 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 blah. And he estimated that it would be about a $400 million movie, and
Hmm.
none of the studios were interested in it at the time. And the article said something like it finished with a great idea for a movie that'll probably never get made. Now we're on the third one, and
Yep.
so far the movies have combined, all three of them, $6 billion globally. So
Wow.
there you go.
Just
James
amazing.
Cameron for the win. But
Yep.
yes, that's the reason we do have the storminess in the Great Lakes is our mid-latitude cyclone. And this, though, over here, this is very interesting. So we do have the front that has come down and brought the cold air behind it. And then you've
Yep.
got the overrunning over the top, and that has made for a nasty time of it here in southeastern New Mexico, just when Eric Webb is not there. He's in North Carolina.
Right.
Um, and yeah, visiting family. So I'm hoping to see him. In fact, I got to get up with him soon. Oh, look, there is a blizzard warning. There's that red again in West Texas. Are you crapping me?
Yep.
Seriously?
The mountains of West Texas.
What? It's too bad you can't zoom in on that map. When you click on it, it obviously takes you down. But a blizzard warning right there, that little thin area. So those are some mountains in that area. Wow, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's for the Guadalupe Mountains of
All right, I
above
got to look this one up.
7,000 feet in Texas.
Pine Springs, Texas is the town.
Yep.
I just have to see what this looks like, so bear with me, folks. And this is the world we live in. You can do it. There it is. That's where
Wow.
the blizzard warning's for. Come on, that's awesome. I mean,
Hmm.
what would be more awesome is if you could see it and it's actually live. We'll get there one day, frighteningly, but yes. So that's where the
Wow.
blizzard warning is for. These mountains.
Just wow.
That's pretty
You know,
cool.
it's crazy that you can have that and then
Right.
swamps in the
Right.
same state.
That's right.
Texas truly is,
A whole other country.
it's Texas, California, and Alaska are all
Yep.
that way.
Yep. So there you go. That's what's happening in southeastern New Mexico. And if you're headed through the Pine Springs area, send us some video because that must be
Yeah.
pretty remarkable. All right. So looking ahead and moving on down the road of our show. So after a colder than normal work week, this is from our Weather Service office. From Monday night onwards, look for temperatures to rebound back to near normal across southeast North Carolina. Saturday 1-3 through Wednesday the 7th, that's what we're talking about. So we're going to have a chilly week ahead, but then things are going to warm up. And we see the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook issued yesterday. Pretty good odds of above normal temperatures across much of the country as we get into the first week of 2026, with below normal temperatures favored for the northeastern part of the country. So after
Right.
the iguanas fall, they will rise again,
Yeah.
and they'll be doing much better. So, speaking of that, this post from our friend Dylan, who's now down in
Yep.
Miami,
Yep.
uh, that's got to be a good use of AI. I would say that. Like, we won't call that slop. You know,
Right.
hey, I need an iguana with a 2026 hat, whatever. And there you go. So, major cold front is forecast to sweep across Florida on Tuesday. Behind it, the
Yep.
wind chills will plunge. I find it interesting that you Floridians look at the wind chills as the metric, as opposed to the
Right.
actual temperature. Like
Well, you
that's
got to
kind of
figure,
like swaying the jury a little bit.
yeah, you got to figure we don't look at temperatures during the summer. We look at the dew point.
Right.
So this is the closest thing you can, that's your analog.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you guys aren't interested in the actual temperature. You're interested in what does
No.
it feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
So the wind chills will be enough that it'll be chilly out there. So you said you had some musings on the whole falling iguana thing.
Yeah, so locally it's really strange in the 10 years that I've lived here. It used to be that we didn't have iguanas here. They were further south down the coast,
Right.
Naples, Fort Myers. But as the years have gone on, since they are an invasive species, a lot of people don't realize they're invasive. They're not native to Florida.
Right.
We don't particularly like them, but they're here. They've worked their way up. And now, if you look at Matt Devitt had a great map that kind of showed.
Yeah, we'll find
Um,
it.
I gotta find it. From Wink News down there in Fort Myers. Um, let's see if you can. I don't know if it's on Twitter or Facebook. It's the one that I sent you. Um,
It was a map.
yeah, it was a map. Not that one.
That one.
Not that one either.
Oh,
It was. I gotta find it.
gotta be that one.
Mm-mm. Hold on. Here it is. Oh, it wasn't him. It was somebody else. I
Well,
thought it
who?
was because normally his name is Brooks Garner. This is from
Oh yeah,
Facebook. I'm just gonna plop it to you. Where you at?
this guy.
Yeah. He had like made
That's
it. It
you
looked
shall
like.
receive.
I don't know if he
Yeah, yeah.
posted it there.
He
Yeah,
did
no,
put it on the
probably not.
Twitter.
But here, I will send it to, well,
Throw it on
hate
the
to admit it.
Discord.
That's what I'm gonna do right now. I just DM'd it to you. It's the Facebook post, so you can bring it up. But this one's pretty good. It actually shows roughly like the area of the state where they inhabit.
Right.
And there are warnings. He's got, safe watches and warnings for the falling iguanas. Because New Year's Day, it's gonna be very cold, even, by our standards down
Oh
here.
yeah, that is funny. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
So you have, and it's funny because the very southern part of my county now, it's in that, but north of here, you don't get the iguanas.
Right.
So
Right.
it's few and far between that I see them. But once you get down to Punta Gorda and especially Fort Myers and into Naples is where you really start seeing. But you're gonna see that. You're gonna see that the next few days, the next few mornings. They're gonna fall out of the trees. They'll be,
Because they're stunned.
super. Yeah, there's a word
They're not
for it.
dead. Right.
No, they're I forget the word for it, but they kind of freeze up because they're cold-blooded. But
Right.
then once the sun comes out, warms up their little bodies, they'll jump up and scurry back,
Yep.
all to
Yep.
repeat it the next morning. Alligators, they'll be in the ponds where they belong, for this.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, it's gonna be chilly. So if you're in Florida, bust out your winter gear. We're gonna need it the next couple of mornings.
That's funny. That's a good post from Brooks. I
I
like
love it.
that.
Hmm.
So yeah. So I figured let's take a look at it. This is the GFS 2 meter temperature.
Yep.
And boy, a couple things to point out. You can clearly see the front
Yeah.
and you can see some of the cold air damming
Yep.
that's occurring. And I'm out of that. Yay. It's nice here. Like I
Nice.
said, it's so warm here. I had to turn the fan on. But it's
Nice.
coming. There's the cold air. Finally drains down into Florida. This is Tuesday night, overnight into Wednesday, and then finally, I don't know. I mean, that's so the actual temperatures there,
No, they're not
37
going to get.
degrees,
Yeah. I mean, you're.
45 down in the southern Florida. That's enough. I
Mhm.
mean, an
Yep.
iguana doesn't like 45 degrees, I can assure you.
No, it is. It is definitely going to get cold enough. We're looking at temperatures locally in the greater Tampa Bay area, anywhere from the low 40s to the upper 30s.
Right. And this
And
is
then
not a high
definitely
res
below.
map.
No, and definitely below freezing up into the Panhandle. In southern Georgia. So
Yeah.
it's going to get cold. So cover your plants, all that good stuff, and wear your jacket when you go out New Year's Eve. If you're going to be
And
lighting off
remember,
fireworks, make sure you're
the
warm.
iguanas or the alligators, when they're cold, when
Bring them
you're cold,
inside.
they're cold, bring them inside. All right. All right. So what do we got next? Oh yeah. This will be a good segue into, we'll just slide this over, rumors of storms. So I've
Right.
seen a few people talking, prominent people, knowledgeable,
Mm.
about a pattern setting up that could be more favorable for big time winter weather in the east as we
Yeah.
get into January. So Tim Buckley, up in the Piedmont area of our state here, meteorologist. Lots of chatter about January, and understandably so. Here's a little weather wisdom for the North Carolina Piedmont. It usually snows in January. Here in
Most definitely.
Greensboro, two-thirds of the January's on record have measurable snow. Half of those have two or more inches, and a third 4 inches. So the Piedmont of North Carolina, no stranger to snow. So any rumblings of it, yeah, it would make sense. Then you have John here, John Homenuk, multiple ensemble suites, and that's important. Not just a deterministic model, but all of the what ifs. They're all kind of starting to line up. So multiple ensemble suites are hinting at a classic pattern for winter weather in the eastern U.S. from January 5th through the 15th. The details will take time to iron out as always. Let's just click on this because I think he had another piece to it. Yep. Patterns similar to this have been associated with wintry periods in the eastern U.S. in the past, including some large and memorable snowstorms. You've got to get that blocking sitting up here over Greenland to shove that trough underneath and get it stuck down here. And then you can also bring down some very cold air with it. All of those puzzle pieces pretty much have to be there. It doesn't just happen by accident. It's the same thing with
Right.
hurricanes. They don't just come out of nowhere. You know, there has to be some kind of a, precedent set in the atmosphere for them to happen. A stalled front is a good focusing mechanism. Tropical waves, the MJO coming through, whatever. And winter weather is
Right.
very similar. And some of these guys can see these patterns coming from a mile away, literally.
Wow.
So, yeah, we'll be watching for it. This is Tomer chiming in, very much in alignment here. Not sure exactly when things fully kick off. But once they do, Tomer says, I suspect we'll have at least a 2 to 3 week window of more favorable for moderate to major snowstorms versus the background
Right.
climatology. South of New York City is more likely favored than north, given the Greenland block, which sucks because I really want to get something up there in New
Right.
England. But hey, maybe we get some snow down here in my neck of the woods. The kids would love it.
Right.
But you'll be safe down there in Sarasota. You're fine.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. All right. So looking out ahead, does the euro agree? Well, let's back it up. This is overnight run of the euro. This is where we are currently, and there it is. What is that? 988. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a pretty intense low. It deepens 976. This is going back in time, by the way. That's just how the models. I don't know why, but it always starts in the past a little bit. Or no, does it?
Right.
This is
I
the
don't think the Euro
right.
on
The
tidbits
GFS.
does, but the GFS
Yes.
absolutely does. Yeah.
So anyway, we are about right here, and the low is forecast to be 976. And boy, it is windy as all get out up there. I know
Yeah.
Scott shared some stuff on our, um, let's see, where is it? There it is. Yeah, this is from the Traverse City,
Wow.
Michigan.
Ooh, that
Yep.
looks
And he said that there was a
close.
video, but I don't think it's going to play. If I click that, something bad might happen. So
Wow.
we won't worry about the video. But yeah, pretty snowy up there. And
Ooh.
that 976 low, there you go. So that
Yeah.
moves on out. The lake snows come in. And I was going to go up there with Daphne, but I don't want to miss New Year's. I like being home for that and then traveling.
Right.
It's just not quite the time yet. Another piece of energy comes through at about 3 days time frame with a lot of lake snow. So if you like lake effect snow, it's
Hmm.
coming.
Yep.
And who doesn't? So there you
Hmm.
go. More wintry weather out west, it looks like, which is good, including the desert southwest. That's day 4. There's day 5. Little storm system maybe sliding through parts of the lower Mississippi Valley. Little small little doodad there. It's too bad we don't have a bunch of cold air sitting around here for that to move into. Oh
Right.
well. So here we are, January 3rd, and this is about the time that the pattern should start changing, and we should start to see signs of wintry weather. And there you go, our first potential. This is at 258, a little Miller
Hmm.
A potentially.
Yep.
Trying to scoot across. We'll have to watch and see. There looks to be some decent cold air north, but nothing that screams yet in the operational guidance because this is too progressive. See, it's just out of there,
Yeah.
not getting enough blocking to slow it down and have it turn up the coast
Right.
yet. Again, this is the operational. But anyway, the euro goes out 360 hours, and this takes us to January 13th. And at least on the operationals, no blockbuster, holy cow, everybody's going to
Yep.
go nuts over it storm, despite that the guidance and the ensembles are starting to show that that could happen. We're not seeing it
Right.
quite show up yet in the operational. So stay tuned. We shall see. So before I let everybody go, let's look at the chat. Any thoughts from you while I read over our uh, our audience real quick, CJ? What do you
No, you
staying
know,
put in Florida for a bit?
I'm
Not
sorry.
going back up to PA?
No, I'll be here until summer, that is for sure. I might have to go to DC in February for some stuff, but we'll see. Um, not entirely locked in on that, but it's it's just going to be paying attention because what I'm
Right,
watching for and what, a lot of us further south are watching for is if we get one of these Miller A storms to come through, maybe
right,
we can get some severe weather on that, this far
right.
south because we're not getting snow and
No,
we need honestly, we need the rain.
you need some rain. It's kind of dry in
We
Florida.
need the rain. We are definitely well within the severe drought limits.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be a good
yeah.
lesson on one of these talking weathers to talk about the Miller A versus the Miller B tracks
Yeah.
and where that came from and so forth. But you're right. If you can get one of those Miller A, usually the best ones tend to start like right off of Houston in the Northwest
Yep,
Gulf. They track
exactly.
across. Sometimes they have a pretty strong front.
Hmm.
And then they develop a secondary low, usually jumps over the northern peninsula right off of like Charleston or Cape Fear. And
Yep.
then it's off to the races. We go. And that could bring some severe weather to Florida if that happens. And Jen's coming down your way, not too
Yep,
far into the
exactly.
future. So we shall see. So a couple
Exactly.
things before we let everybody go. Our good friend Scott did, in fact, look it up, and the closest Pantone color is 7417C, which is vibrant orange dash red. So everybody's right.
That was no help at all.
Blizzard is the hex code or whatever is number DE5928. So I should be able to plug that into Photoshop. My Photoshop 5.5, by the way, which is older than you,
Right.
um, I think. Anyway, it's good to see everybody. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. We do have Tech Tuesday. I
Yeah,
don't know what I'm going to discuss just yet. I was thinking about it, and I better think more because Tuesday's coming. But it is Tech Tuesday,
exactly.
so I'll go over something related to something technological, either something that we've used or something. Maybe you think of something that we could talk about. What's your schedule like tomorrow? You want to join in or
I'm
it
good.
work?
I'm
Cool.
clear pretty much the rest of the week at this point. I thought it was going to be, a little bit busier today, but ended up my meetings got canceled. So
Nice.
it'll be a pretty chill week for me, hopefully. Hopefully, clients aren't going to be too busy with my day job,
Right.
given that it's, the week between Christmas and New Year's, and a lot of them are in upstate New York where it is currently snowing
True.
buckets and they're not getting out unless they have a four-wheel drive.
That is true as
So
well. Well,
there ain't
cool.
much for them to do.
I'll think of something for Tech Tuesday, and we will see everybody back here tomorrow. I am
Awesome
Mark
stuff.
Sudduth. That's CJ Morgan of the
Thanks,
Hurricane
y'all.
Track universe. We appreciate you tuning in to Talking Weather. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thanks.